This positive development is already having economic impacts across the globe. In Asia, the markets jumped in the moments after President Obama announced that a deal had been reached. This likely means that Wall Street will have an update tomorrow. Now, joining us right now is Scott Montgomery, editor-in-chief of Roll Call, the newspaper with all the sources on Capitol Hill. We've been talking in the newsroom. Who blinked first on this?
I think it's fair to say that the Democrats, the White House in particular, blinked first. If you look at the deal that we've got now, or the outlines that we've seen, it is all spending cuts at the moment committed, no tax increases, no new revenue sources. So you have to say that that's a blink for the Democrats.
It seemed last time I checked, Harry Reid had the ball in his court and the president snatched it away from him.
Well, yeah, I mean, it became clear that the Republicans in the House had to do a deal. Boehner got a bill, finally got it through the House. Senator Reid had his opportunity, but neither one of those had a chance of passing in the other chamber, so the president came in and said, I need to sit down with the top people and just figure this out myself.
Yeah, Scott, everything we're hearing is that the Senate will pass this, but there are going to be some problems in the House, right? Tea Party members are not going to, just fall in line on this, correct?
No, absolutely. I mean, we're already hearing from certain conservatives that this is not enough cuts. They don't really like the second piece of this deal where you have a commission kick the ball down the road later. They say that's old-style Washington. We don't like it. And frankly, the liberals in the Democratic side are no happier about it either.
Right. $1 trillion in cuts the president announced. What cuts? What are we losing?
Well, we're still going to have to see, but it's going to be domestic spending almost certainly. There's talk now about whether or not the Pentagon's going to be involved in that. We still have to see them put a bill together, which is what's happening now. They're writing one overnight to put before the chambers on the floor of the House and the Senate, and then we'll see what the details are.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like the president has won something here, and it's big, and that is we won't be having this debt ceiling debate during the 2012 presidential election. That was big for him, but what was also big, he wanted some taxes on the wealthy Americans. He said that that could be a deal breaker. We didn't get that.
Yes. And I think what the Democrats are hoping for, particularly the president is hoping for, is the opportunity to bring those things back on the floor, back on the table, rather, when this commission gets together.
And about that commission, bipartisan in name, but can they be trusted? Do you really suspect that Republicans will come off the dime and vote for revenue enhancements and tax increases when they won't do it now? Will the Tea Party members allow them to do this?
Well, I think that's the great question. It's hard to imagine how later, with less pressure, Republicans, particularly conservatives, are going to be more likely to consider increases in revenue than they are right now. The Democrats just have to hope that a big picture plan can be put together that satisfies everybody.
You've covered the Hill enough there. I mean, do you really see that happening? Are we going to be right back here this time next year?
Well, yes, I think we will. Right. I think that the triggers, that's the idea behind the triggers, is if they don't come to a deal, the automatic triggers would be kicked in, and nobody wants those because they're fairly blunt instruments.
Right, and one more thing, progressive Democrats, they say they're the big losers here. They got nothing out of this, correct?
Yeah, I think that's fair. They got nothing out of this.
Okay, Scott Montgomery, editor-in-chief of Roll Call, the newspaper with all the sources on Capitol. Scott, thanks for
having me.
Really appreciate it. Okay. Coming up next, our coverage of the compromise plan agreed to